In the shadow of Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs, Colorado, it's a fitting setting for tonight's matchup between two teams who have recently reached the mountaintop of the USL Championship. 2024 champions Colorado Springs welcoming 2022 champions San Antonio. And these two teams are once again driving forces in the Western Conference as we look at the Brinks Tires performance standings. A win tonight for San Antonio takes them back into first. A win for Colorado Springs can bring them as high as fourth. And we're happy to have you with us this evening on ESPN2. Alongside the ex-Sherman pro Devin Kerr, I'm Joe Malfa. Devin, these two teams have been standard bearers in the Western Conference over the last half decade. And when they meet, interesting things tend to happen.
The rivalry has produced a ton of goals. We've had tight-knit affairs. But talking to San Antonio's head coach, Carlos Somoza, yesterday, he said it plain and simple. We don't like each other, and I'm here for that. That's the type of passion you want in these Western Conference matchups. And there was an interesting tweak that came out of that 3-3 game back on May 2nd, and it was San Antonio's ability to open it up on the attacking side of the ball. It's something they had struggled with all season long. How did they do it, and how have they been consistent since then? Well, commitment of numbers going forward is one, rotation number two, but the ability to be brave, the willingness to make mistakes in order to find success. The problem on the back end of that is that they've also run into health problems. Within the health issues, it's been player rotation, they've started to drop form, and more importantly, the bread and butter that is the defensive fortress has found a chink in their armor over the last 7 matches. It's created 3 separate groupings instead of a team-knit affair defending from top down. So if they want to continue to put goals in the back of that, that's fine. But they have to be better on the defensive front and pair that. Otherwise, the balance will go askew. They'll get themselves into trouble.
And it's an interesting matchup tonight with Colorado Springs because on the one hand, they're tied for third in the West with 20 goals. But then you dig a bit deeper, and if you cover the PKs from Corey Bennett, their leading scorer only has 3 goals from the open run of play. So it's a potent attack statistically, but it feels like they're leaving some meat on the bone. That's why you take us ahead of the curve.
There's stability within the midfield. They've got great representation out on the wings, and they've got numbers up high. Now it's a timing thing. Getting the numbers into the right place at the right time. Corey Bennett up top in the 9 is going to be a big conversation moving forward for Colorado Springs. The ability to not only create for himself, but for others around him. They got it right in the 2-1 win against Tulsa. 5 different players, 30 yards and in, that are going to make an impact in the final third. You can't just all be on a straight line. You have to drag diagonals, move that back line. And this is going to be twofold, because as you get numbers up high, you get it right positionally in the attacking end. It's also going to benefit you defensively. This is the exact same play reverse angle where you have the ability, 3v2, 2v1, you create your own luck and you create more goals going forward.
You alluded to it right off the top. When these teams met back at the beginning of May, it was a fun one. It finished 3-3. So what that means, well, it might be time to buckle up. It's Colorado Springs and San Antonio next on ESPN2. just about set to get things going from Widener Field. It's Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC welcoming San Antonio FC. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the home side and a head coach in Al McCann who feels good about this group going forward.
You want to remove unforced errors here for Colorado Springs. As good as they've been on the attacking end, 20 goals on the season. They've given up 19, but most of it on their own accord. Midfield coverage defensively. Sam Williams will always sit down underneath. What does the rotation look like in front of him? Because Adrian Perez can drop in, Juan Tejada can jump out of there. That's the bread and butter of San Antonio. Getting that defensive rotation right, only going to benefit you going forward. The runs by Corey Bennett, his timing into the box have to be better for this team on the attacking front. Carlos Somoza will roll out what he calls his 5-2-3. What you're going to see, though, is a very aggressive three center-back line. They will release the four in front of them. There is a lot of movement. Mikey Maldonado, Lucio Perón will help defensive coverage, but Maldonado releasing through the midfield, allowing Micha Yerofeev and Jorge Hernandez. That's who you want to keep an eye on for San Antonio, the number 10. Become much more free-flowing over the past 3 matches. One of the best chance creators in all of championship play.
We also take a look at tonight's injury report brought to you by Tiger Bomb. It's Tyreek McGee out for Colorado Springs, and a couple on the mend for San Antonio as well. 2 more out for Colorado Springs for a better reason. They're at the World Cup, and they just finished up their World Cup campaign today. Garvin Metusala and Duke Lacroix with Haiti. They will be back in the next couple of weeks. So out, not injured. There's your injury report brought to you by Tiger Bomb. Might take the eye some adjusting. Colorado Springs tend to wear blue or something blue accented at home, and San Antonio tend to have their blackout kits. They become known for it these last couple of years. Well, tonight, it's Colorado Springs wearing their own edition of a blackout kit, and it's San Antonio wearing a special edition USA 250 kit in the blue. So it might take a little bit to get used to if you're tuning in and you're seeing these teams in their jerseys. It took us a second as well. It's Colorado Springs left to right in the black. It's San Antonio right to left in the blue, and it's Kalin Radosov in the green, ready to send us on our way on a beautiful Wednesday evening in Colorado Springs. 3-3 back in May. What do we have in store tonight? Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Joe Malfa. Happy to have you with us. It's the USL on ESPN. Yerofeev, plenty of space to work with. Emil Cuello. The altitude may do to San Antonio. The altitude is a real thing to battle. We were at the final a couple of years ago, and I needed to stop a couple of times going up the stairs to meet you guys on the roof. I wish I was joking.
Well, that seems a long time ago, doesn't it? Just 2 years prior, we were making our way to a similar location near the roof of San Antonio FC and Toyota Field. That's part of the rivalry, though, between these two teams, the success that they've had in the Western Conference, the relevance they've maintained at the highest level of championship play.
Slowly get back to his feet. Running Creek. Foul was called by Kalin Radosov. There's your first look maybe at what you said right off the top, that these two teams don't like each other very much. It's the words of Carlos Somoza. It's also been an interesting stretch for San Antonio in our conversation with Carlos Somoza. Had 2 separate 10-plus day stretches off over the last month. And they're heading into another similar week off. Corner coming for Colorado Springs. So with that, he said they've actually taken some time off. He's given the guys an extra few days off than he normally would, just to get away from it a little bit, spend time with their families. They've done some more individual film sessions. Just the way the schedule broke out, it almost created this little mini break for them in the month of June. It's only their 2nd regular season game in the month. Sam Williams will take. It's a tough team to beat in the air, San Antonio. Their back 3 are Alex Cronali, Mitch Tainer, and Danny Barbier, all towering just about pretty much over everybody else on the field tonight. Williams corner, drops it in. And surprise, surprise, it's one of those 3. It's Danny Barbier heading it clear.
Now you imagine if you were able to find a breakthrough against San Antonio FC's back line, it would not be from dead ball situations given the trees amongst the 3. Sam Williams will be certainly the conductor over the course of the evening for Alan McCann's Switchbacks. So clean with the ball. Incredible decision making in the sixth spot within the midfield, and love his link-up play going forward.
Long throw from Williams. It falls through on the volley. It's blocked by Cronelli. Where would that have ended up? Bennett chests it down. Creek keeps it alive for Hanya. Brendan Creek. Good start for Colorado Springs, applying the pressure to San Antonio. It's Hanya delivering. And back toward goal. Quajo. Where it all started, a long throw from this near side.
Sustained pressure up high, never an issue for Colorado Springs, especially within their home venue. And though it's a recycled set piece, it's an excellent job. Quick movement to the outside, the reaction off the strike atop the 18. Alex Cronelli, not sure as to whether or not he knew it was coming his direction, but really well done by the center back from San Antonio FC.
Long throw, where was Batruni going? Vacated his net. Creek now heads it along. On the turn, it's Bennett, saved by Batruni! And the whistle goes against Colorado Springs for a foul. Somewhere in the mix.
A back-to-back sequence is a heck of a arm from Sam Williams from the sideline. Certainly hasn't skipped the weight room. It's a timing conversation again, although it's an off-the-ball run, condensed inside the 18. Their striker, Corey Bennett. Tell you what, man, they get him right, they're going to unlock all sorts of possibilities up high.
And it's an interesting conversation. You say get him right. He has 8 goals, but like we showed, 5 of those are from the penalty spot.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is his runs and his danger have helped create those penalties, but still only 3 goals from the open run of play.
They're tied for the 3rd most goals in the Western Conference. Colorado Springs tied for 7th in the championship overall, and yet they are nowhere near the potential of what they're capable of doing moving forward. And a lot of that is due to the eccentric nature they have in their work rate off the ball. There's a level of comfort for guys like Patrick Berner, Aiden Rocha at the outside back position, can play on either side of the field. You have a midfield in Tejada, Creek, Perez, Williams, really throw anybody but the kitchen sink in there, because they can all play the same position and they have no problem rotating in and out. It is about the 9 now. It's about getting the timing right, whomever is the point man up top, to create separation amongst the center backs, opening up more space underneath, which in turn is going to increase opportunities in front of goal for the entire team.
About the man up top, and it's also about the man at the back. Alan McCann called out the goalkeeping. Christian Herrera, Colin Shuttler have been in a battle. They've gone back and forth. He said there's been a few instances where, and the goalkeepers know this, he'd say it to their faces, they've been blunt this season in their communication. That's something we'll touch on as well. The goalkeepers know they have to be better, and they've cost this team points at times. Colin Shuttler, a good veteran of this league. He's been around the last couple of years with Orange County. Christian Herrera has been the guy in Colorado Springs the last couple of years, and both have cost them at times this season. Shuttler in net tonight. In his first year as the head coach for Colorado Springs. It's a big theme of our conversation this week. Just the exit meetings after last year and then coming into this year. The players wanted more direct communication from the coaching staff. And well, we know Alan and his Irish attitude, and he really didn't have a hard time with that. He'll tell it like it is, that he's enjoyed that. And it's worked for a few players. He mentioned a couple of players by name who they've had those direct conversations with early this season, and you've seen an uptick in the performance thereafter.
Yeah, he gets right up in your grill, so to say, and lets you know how he feels. It certainly felt like there was more potential within the group that had won the 2024 USL Championship title. Didn't go their way last season, but still a ton of talent within the group overall. You start to add some pieces to solidify what could be done. Adrian Perez, a big pickup from Louisville City. Sam Williams down into the midfield. Now it's about consistency. And 20 goals on the season, that's great, but they've given up 19. A +1 goal differential does not make a recipe for success come playoff time.
Perez from the free kick. Antonio withstanding a lot of early pressure from Colorado Springs. Wondered coming in if the longer layoff would take San Antonio some time to get going. Been on their heels for 8 minutes. Maldonado gets this one clear.
Coming into the match dealing with the unique circumstance of layoffs, if you will, every 10 days. Change in fixtures, you're dealing with USL Cup, which you would think they've assured themselves a spot in the final 8. They're certainly in the pole position, and all of the health concerns that have seen a lot of rotation within the lineup and form drop.
Another long throw coming from Williams, another long throw headed away. And that back line of San Antonio. Ward battling. It's his former team. Ward spent last season with Colorado Springs, now with San Antonio, operating as the right back up against Hanya at the moment. Bennett charging in behind, cut off by Barbier, feeding it through too much for Hanya and blasted away by Mitch Tainter.
They've started to get healthy, San Antonio FC. Cristian Pernano making his way back from a quad injury. Diogo Pacheco, another attacking player available for head coach Carlos Somoza of San Antonio FC. You know, the second season for him was always going to be about getting it right on the attacking end. Defensively, it was never a concern the entirety of the 2025 campaign, but the commitment of numbers up high and really maintaining confidence. That's something that you and I can both agree has waxed and waned, where they'll have these stretches, sure, a couple of shutouts, maybe they let up 1 goal, but the back line's never been a question. It's about supplementing it on the attacking front. And it is ironic that all of a sudden goals are coming aplenty and now they're conceding. But they have got 2 out of their 3 available on the back line. Mitch Tainter, Alex Cronali, the 2 wingbacks in Cuejo and Akeem Ward are certainly the preferred ones at this point in time, and Jorge Hernandez in the 10. Getting Thiago Suarez back within the middle 3, very important for distribution and coverage, and getting a 9 in form has to be the #1 concern for San Antonio.
Long for Cuejo, and getting Jorge Hernandez more involved in the midfield is key. We haven't called his name yet today. They haven't had much of the ball, but he's an MVP caliber player in this league. He's 4-time All-League first team, Jorge Hernandez, and that right there was the first time we called his name tonight on Aaron Paul.
I do like what we've seen from San Antonio FC in the past 2 matches. They did it against Tulsa, they did it against Lexington. Releasing Jorge Hernandez, allowing him more freedom. A lot of times the structure for that front 3 is very linear, so you'll get 2 players to drop and act as 10s. The 9 operates by himself. Now that Jorge Hernandez is allowed to float more freely, he can be more creative. He's not as locked down defensively. He still gives you that coverage, but you need his mind to create, and they've been able to do that. So you see him cutting from right side to left a little bit more frequently. He's left foot dominant. That bodes well for San Antonio.
This might bode well for Colorado Springs. Hanya trying to get around. And deflection plays it out for a goal kick. They go in bursts, this Colorado Springs team in the attack. And against a San Antonio team that struggled defensively, this could be that night where that Colorado Springs attack gets right. Elsewhere, Miami FC are hosting Orange County. That game was slightly delayed due to weather, but it's underway now. And at halftime, it's 1-1 between Miami and Orange County. A Miami FC team that reached some newfound fame this week after Eloy Room's record-setting performance, 15 saves for Curacao in the 0-0 draw against Ecuador at the World Cup. Holding down the fort while he's gone. Well, Jurgen Locadia is gone from that Miami FC team, also with Curacao, the striker. That game's important. Depending on what Orange County does, it could dictate whether or not San Antonio can jump into first place tonight. Juan Tejada. Title-winning goal for Colorado Springs in 2024. Tejada looking long. It's a difficult battle going long in the air against this back line. Haven't succeeded doing so yet, Colorado Springs. Now Burner moves it over everything and out of play.
But just keep an eye on the pocket of space, center left side of your screen, just in front of Sam Williams in the 6. with the movement that you're getting from Juan Tejada, as aggressive as he's being. Adrian Perez is also gambling on this right-hand side, just to the right side of the referee, number 10, leaning over. So what happens is you put a lot of responsibility and pressure on Brendan Creek and Sam Williams. If you're San Antonio FC, you have to be smart and take advantage of that space. When you're pinned down in, don't just try and release long as they've done the past couple of sequences. Instead, pick up the passage, play into that 10 yards, and then either play through or around it. You have the option of both. That's about decision-making and settling down.
A long way out, fed through now. Yosuke Hanya brought down, decision to be made at the penalty. Colleen Radisov, the referee, all over it. And a quarter hour in, the Switchbacks will have a chance from 12 yards out. Important to note, no VAR here in USL Championship, so it will be a penalty confirmed for Colorado Springs.
Within that, a big question in the lineup that you and I were looking at, where were they going to release Adrian Perez? We settled on the right-hand side because of his ability to drive centrally, to take advantage of that front three, stretching the back line, and then occupying the space in front. And while he doesn't get up on the end of it, he creates it. Great touch initially to come at an angle, to create the separation, and then open up the space on the far side and 100% contact him from behind. No doubt whatsoever that you point to the penalty mark in that situation.
We know who's taking it. As he shows you on that graphic top of the broadcast, Corey Bennett leads his team with 8 goals. 5 of them have come from the penalty spot. Joey Batruni dancing back and forth. Mind games going on. Corey Bennett fakes a quick kick. The whistle didn't blow yet, so it wouldn't have mattered. Some crowd ready to erupt here just 15 minutes in. Bennett against Batruni. Looking for his 9th goal this season in the Golden Boot race. Corey Bennett, save, rebound, Bennett taps it home. Colorado Springs up 1-0.
Pressure on the long ball by Adrian Perez. Great job reading the ball coming laterally, and as the pressure applies, he drags 3 separate players from San Antonio. Opens up great space on the width for Yosuke Hanya. Taken down 100%. And the previous 4 have come to the left side of Corey Bennett when he drives through it on that right foot. But Trudy did his homework. The problem is he gets no help. That's a really good save by the goalkeeper. Probably should have collected it, but even as he spills the rebound, defensively, you got to provide support. A quarter hour in, it has been all Switchbacks and the deserved lead.
9 on the season for Corey Bennett, came into the night, tied for 4th in the Golden Boot race. This brings him into a tie for 2nd. Saw a very disappointed look on the face of Joey Batruni from a seated position after he made the save. Sort of looking around, wondering where his back line was. Nobody crashed in to make the clearance. They were all on the peripheries. It all goes to that larger conversation, be it the long layoff for San Antonio, be it the travel, be it the altitude, whatever it might be. It hasn't felt like they've gotten off the bus yet, and maybe it took conceding a goal to get them into this one. Free kick coming now in the attacking end for the visitors. Right man standing over it. Jorge Hernandez, 5 goals, 3 assists this season. 11 goals, 7 assists last season. Started his career with the LA Galaxy organization, spent a year in Belgium, and has been the leading man for San Antonio ever since 2023. Just missed their title, joined after their title-winning season. Hernandez curls a great ball in. Save made by Colin Shuttler.
This is an unreal ball by Jorge Hernandez. What a wand of a left foot. Brilliant pace. He drops it right in that gray area. Colin Shuttler, he hesitates for a second, then recognizes he can't come off his line because of how much English has been put on the ball, and that's an opportunity missed. Beautifully whipped in. Should have had an attacker on the end of it.
It was a San Antonio player who got ahead to it, but right at Colin Shuttler. Either side of him, and this game is 1-1.
I mean, what a ball, though. A necessary response, too.
I mean, with no disrespect to anybody else in the league, there's nobody better at serving a ball than Jorge Hernandez. We've
right now.
seen that over 3 years.
Right now.
Right now. We're talking about right now. We're in the present.
Well, I would say his form right now.
Right.
The idea that there's nobody better at serving a ball.
Right now.
I think Aaron Malloy might have something to say about that.
Right now.
Listen, I'm just trying to make sure I get a couple of invites to Thanksgiving dinner still. I normally don't start turning those down till September.
Shuttler sends it long from one former UVA goalkeeper almost to another. Shuttler there from 2016 to 2020, and then Batruni 23 and 24. Burner throws it in. Emil Quajo trying to play it off Bennett. Stayed in play, then he cleared it through the middle. Brennan Creek wins it. Williams. And Rocha driving. Maybe the most versatile player in the 11 for Colorado Springs. Different positions he's popped up in. Now the left back for the Switchbacks. Take a peek at the way you do your boards and the positions you have players listed as. I think the only thing you don't have listed for Rocha is goalkeeper, and I'm sure we'll get there at some point.
He could play it.
Through quickly for Hernandez, centers it. One wasn't there. Mahoney heads it clear. As far as Hernandez once again. Clever backheel. Maldonado deflected into the arms of Shuttler.
Had an opportunity to talk to Colorado Springs left back Aiden Rocha extensively prior to the 2024 final when they took down Rhode Island FC, and the idea of where he wanted to play was null and void in the sense that he wanted to play, and he was a competitor. His coach at Georgetown, Brian Weiss, said the same thing, where he just understands the game at such a high level, Aiden Rocha, and so within that, he's a student. That conversation started in this VIP suite area. We were watching tactical sessions up high from San Antonio, and everybody had left. He actually was sitting in the back room because he wasn't allowed to watch, and he was watching video from the team earlier in the week. San Antonio, excuse me, Rhode Island. From Rhode Island earlier in the year, and he was breaking things down. And I joked and I looked and said, "Haven't you had enough?" And he goes, "It's never enough." And he's always willing to go the extra mile to get the leg up on opposition. I respect that.
Player who was the former Big East midfielder of the year and first team all Big East in that position at Georgetown, and now whether the left side or the right side has mostly played as a right back or a left back for Colorado Springs. Bennett muscled off the ball by Barbier. Danny Barbier on this back line for San Antonio, part of that 2015 U17 World Cup team with Christian Pulisic and friends. Donato switches for Ward. Guilty party conceding the penalty. 15 minutes in, giving the Switchbacks the lead. It's been up and down these last few games for San Antonio. They've only lost one, but they've also only won one with those 3 ties. Seemed at one point like they would create some distance in first place, and that has slowed down. Hernandez gets it back. Lays it off. Beron out wide for Ward. First time in the box here, Akeem Ward tries to get it back for Hernandez.
Struggle with decision making here. Really good runs coming forward. Love the rotation off the ball. This cut back to the inside. Jorge wants it on his left foot, but as he slows here, hit it right there. And instead, Quajo indecisive. Once you rotate it back out to Akeem Ward, your window of opportunity is closed. That's a really good example of what head coach Carlos Somoza talks about. They got to be confident. You have to trust yourself. Even if you don't feel like it's the best opportunity, that's a really good look for the unit just inside the 18. You let it fly, put it on frame, and then see what happens.
Ball served in, just over Danny Barbier. Very honest in our conversation, Carlos Somoza, for the talent they have, for the start they had, certainly feels like they should be in a better position than they are. All that being said, a win tonight and they could be in first place. So it's not quite like the sky is falling for San Antonio. It's just more of challenging his guys, knowing what their full potential is. Weird misplay from Hernandez, out for a goal kick. And that's what you want from a team like San Antonio. Again, champions in 2022. Every year it feels like they're there at the end of things, at least in the conference in the West. And you're not satisfied. Yeah, you're in third place, but you probably should be in first. And that's the mentality right now for Carlos Somoza and his group.
Well, if things continue the way they have for Orange County against Miami FC, although they equalized, it wasn't the best of first halves. They have an opportunity, San Antonio, to go first tonight. Virtually, anyway. I don't really want to get into the tiebreakers and live maths.
It's live maths that really scare you the most.
Yeah, it jumps in the way. It's a real problem. I'm going to work on it in the offseason.
I think you've been saying that for about 7 off seasons now.
Hey, got to have goals. I am watching that back line, though. Tainer, Barbier, and Alex Granali. Carlos Suarez, who's on loan right now from the Revs, picked up an injury. Should be out a couple of more weeks, but he did a really good job, the youngster, of controlling that back three. Mitch Tainer had stepped in prior. When you rotate Danny Barbier in, he struggled a little bit with organization. That's just about being proactive with your words, keeping everybody in check, being very specific about what you want from the guys around and in front of you. The good news is, moving Mitch Tainer to the outside, is they can utilize these cross-angled balls a bit more. He's one of the best in the business of pinging that 40-yard ball back across the field, but you got to get your spacing right centrally.
Another dangerous ball through for Bennett, off the foot of Perez. Hernandez trying to find a way out, goes back to Petruni. Pressured by Creek, Petruni just plays it out to touch. I mentioned that San Antonio can jump to the top. Colorado Springs, with this lead in the live table, have done some climbing of their own. Now in 4th place, just behind San Antonio.
Well, that's the mess of the Western Conference that we haven't even gotten into yet. Coming into the night, San Antonio FC is in 3rd, have a chance to chase Orange County down in 1st. Colorado Springs on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. Was it 5 earlier? It was 5 points separating the final home playoff spot and missing the playoffs altogether.
I'm not even going to try to figure it out until maybe a month from now. And even then, I don't know if that'll really help us.
Just talk to me on the 30th game of the regular season, and we'll see where the West matches up. I mean, it does give you an idea of how tightly knit things have been over the course of the year, and the margins, they're just so small, at least in the Western Conference.
And that's why, if anybody at home, right off the top, we talked about these two teams being right back at it as the standard bearers in the Western Conference. If you were scratching your head and saying, why is Joe Malfa saying Colorado Springs in 9th place is a good team in the Western Conference? Well, that's why, because everything is so tight where 9th place quickly becomes 4th place. And, well, guess what? If they go and win their next game, they might be in 1st place already. That's how quickly things change in the tight West. And they're trending in the right direction. The teams they've beaten over the last few weeks, coming off a win against Tulsa, or a team on a good trajectory in the reigning Western Conference champions. This Colorado Springs team was below the playoff line in name only. If you were to anonymously poll the coaches in the Western Conference, I think a lion's share of them might say the Switchbacks are the team they are most afraid of going forward.
Yeah. The attacking side, they have produced numbers. Again, they're looking for some balance in the 9 position, but overall they've already shown in cup play that they can turn some heads. They're one of only 2 teams currently in USL Prinks Tires Cup that has already secured a position in one of 8 quarterfinal positions, and they haven't even played their final group game. They also made a nice little run in US Open Cup play earlier this year before bowing out to MLS opposition Colorado Rapids. You could make the argument that they were the better team in that game, certainly had chances. Just looking for league balance overall. They have got healthy.
which is very important. You're going to hear that a couple of times over the course of the night because of how many games and early on these teams have had to play. A ton of travel involved as well.
Sorto switches, long run for Ward, keeps it in play. Akeem Ward finds Hernandez, wants to get on that left foot if he can. Hernandez gets left, lays it off. Erefave scores! Just like that, San Antonio draws level. And it's another assist for Jorge Hernandez.
That's incredible vision, though, from their 9, Christian Sordo, to hold play up here and then to pivot the opposite direction. He recognizes no support, and instead, it's not the reset button, it's a release to allow you to retain relevance up high. Really well done. Akeem Warren doesn't get the first bite on the second. How's the patience from Jorge Hernandez? I mean, unreal. Gets Brennan Creek flat-footed. Little cutback across the 18. Just puts this thing on an absolute platter to power through for the 19-year-old. Great ball movement and a response by San Antonio.
We'll be talking about Jorge Hernandez at halftime as we take a look at some potential midseason awards around the league. For Erefave, now 5 goals this season. 18-year-old from Moscow. 70 appearances, 18 goals, and 12 assists in his time with Dynamo Moscow's reserves before Erefave came stateside. Last season didn't really break out for San Antonio. Was just finding his footing in the United States. 13 games played, 1 start, no goals, no assists. This year coming out of his shell, Erefave with 5 goals and an assist now. Half an hour in, all level again. Colorado Springs scoring 15 minutes in. San Antonio scoring 29 minutes in. 3-3 when these teams met back in May. We said there'd be goals. We haven't lied so far. Although I will say there's always a little lump in my throat when we say there's going to be goals, and we're sitting there in the 70th minute and it's 0-0, and we lie to the folks at home. Not tonight. Not tonight.
I was more concerned about our little peek at the radar pregame that
we were scared.
Fortunately, Mother Nature decided the gusts of wind would assist us.
There was a severe thunderstorm watch in the area that is still ongoing until 10 p.m., but it's not supposed to come our way. And now the sun is out after all that, thankfully. Creek lays it through. Playing from a seated position, Bennett is going to get called for the foul. The extra nudge in the end there from Beron. And everything that's come after could serve to spark things between two teams. They don't like each other.
It's high pressure once again. Quajo, good job collapsing on the pocket on the inside. He saw the 1-2 come in his direction. Great weak side support coming over for Danny Barbier. And Corey Bennett's not going to be happy with the extended arm from the Argentine. Still can't play on the ground. Not that I know of anyway. Maybe your Sunday league game.
40 regular season assists now for Hernandez. In the top 10 in league history. Bennett off the chest. Barbier skies it and then fouls Bennett. These two are getting very familiar with each other tonight.
Yeah, that's also smart by the striker, though. Take a little bit of pressure and go to ground. It's not a ton of shimmy within that forearm, but enough just right in front of the referee.
I'd be surprised if this night ends without either or both of them getting a yellow card for their time together. Another free kick coming now for Colorado Springs. This time it's Hernandez who commits the infraction. What was that quote from Carlos Llamosa again?
Yeah, we don't like each other. Hey, these teams certainly have never been friends. And to be fair to Jorge Hernandez, I don't think he's trying to create an actual infraction of contact here. If You watch, he tries to step in. He's a little bit slow, and as he reaches, the leg just drags a little bit. He's hesitant. And the overall tackle to follow through, and it does create contact. I don't think there's any malintent by the midfielder from San Antonio.
Free kick dropped in, punched away by Batruni. Play on, says Kalin Radosov. He collided with a teammate, so Creek keeps it alive. Colorado Springs had a chance if they could have settled at an empty net. Now looking toward goal. And a whistle will stop play. There was no foul. It'll be a drop ball at the end of this. It's just Kalin Radosov stopping things to take a peek at Mitch Tainter.
You certainly never want to see any of your players down, nor Mitchell Tainter, but this is really well done by Joey Batruni. Take command, right? Absolutely be the aggressor. Make sure there is no doubt left here on another brilliant ball whipped in by Sam Williams from Switchbacks. That's a tough one too. Right around the 6-yard box is where defenders start to look around. Do I stay? Do I go? Can't tell there if the shout comes, but you can't leave a seat of doubt, and the goalkeeper takes full control. Joey Batruni does.
150 appearances for Mitchell Tainter with San Antonio. Where's the captain's armband? Help to his feet. It's hard to imagine this San Antonio team without Mitchell Tainter. Need to keep him out there, and it looks like he will be able to stay out there. He'll have to come off the field momentarily since the trainer did come on. Game in, game out. Last couple of years, mainstay. The Rock at the back for San Antonio. All-League first team and defender of the year in 2022. For my money, should have been the MVP in 2022, and I think you agree as well. It's hard to get a defender that award, but he deserved it.
Well, and here's the great thing about San Antonio this year. You've got that kind of experience on the defensive side. An in-form attacker in Jorge Hernandez, who he himself could play into an MVP, and then a youngster at just 19 years of age, Micha Yerofev. Now, you were talking about him earlier, how he started to get reps. You know, they changed tactically in the offseason, San Antonio FC. This is a 4-2-3-1 last year, and as a winger, he was stuck behind a bunch of big names. With the tactical adjustment, came a tweak for him. In preseason, there was a conversation for Micha Yerofev, and it was with head coach Carlos Somoza about how growing up at the academy level, he played a little bit of 8, that he felt very comfortable attacking from the inside and helping going forward. So what did they do? They played him in a preseason game against Tulsa, played him next to Mikey Maldonado. He was good. Put him a little bit higher, played even better. Gave him more reps, more confidence, and now 6 goal contributions for Micha Yerofev in just 14 appearances this year. You want to talk about supplementing the attack with a 9? They're still going to need it. You give a partner in crime next to Jorge Hernandez in the 10 position, watch out.
Christian Perano and Santiago Patino both available on the bench tonight for San Antonio. The driving forces in the attack behind that 2022 title run. 2 very capable players. They're getting back to full health. Start putting all the pieces together. If they come back healthy, if they start clicking with each other. Again, this is a team that coming into the night had a chance with a win to come into first place, despite the recent rut they've been in. That's more due to the schedule. I feel like that's why we haven't been talking about them. They just haven't been playing. They've had 2 10-plus day breaks between games and a USL Cup game in there. So just 1 regular season game this month until tonight. Quickly be talking about them again, especially if they could come here and pick up 3 points on the road. Against a team they've had considerable success against in this rivalry, and the 2 teams that don't like each other. 15 San Antonio wins, 4 Switchbacks wins, and 6 draws. Between the feet there, momentarily defensively for Mahoney, and he sends it out of play. Pendulum is swung toward the end of this first half in favor of San Antonio. Perez. Tejada, can he turn? He couldn't get it out between his feet for Hanya, but he still has it. Tejada now finds Hanya. Flag stays down. Yosuke Hanya deflected off Ward, out for a corner.
Good job by Switchbacks that continue going forward, but excellent defensive pressure. San Antonio knows right away it's a full-blown breakdown. A track meet, one end to the another. Cuejo collapses on the space, and what you do is you prohibit Juan Tejada from finding the overlapping run initially. So now Hanya has to adjust, and as he moves back to the outside, that allows Akeem Moore to get down and parry the opportunity aside.
Sam Williams will take the corner on loan from Chicago Fire. Season-long loan, joined this club back in February, swings it in. There's no success in the air right now against this San Antonio team, and that is typical. Cornali, Tainter, Barbier, they're the best in the league in the air, and you've got them all on one back line. And they might be called upon again here with a free kick in the attacking half for Colorado Springs. It's Maldonado at the center of it this time.
Certainly in from behind and not allowed to push through the player like that. If Colorado Springs can start to regain some control in this game, it's going to come from that young man right there, Sam Williams. One of the things he's having to do defensively is track to the outside. Akeem Ward dropping, and then Jorge Hernandez, as he pinches out into the space on the wing, Sam Williams is pulling out there so that they're still able to keep their back four intact and keep the game in front of them. But then on turnovers, he's out of position. Giving him support so it creates 2v1s is going to allow Sam Williams to release. You build through him and you let him face the game. He's really good back to goal, spraying balls side to side, but the biggest progression that Sam Williams, 6 from Colorado Springs, has had this year is become more forward facing and aggressive in possession up high.
Sorto's hustle wins this. Colorado Springs wanted a foul called, not granted. Now Sorto in front, still loose. Hero Fave had a chance at it. Out for a throw. Switchbacks player down back behind the play. And that contact there that Patrick Berner went down and stayed down. Berner, the 30-year-old from Martinique, spent a decade playing in France before joining USL Championship last year with North Carolina. Pretty even split in his career in France, playing in the first division and the second division. 18 caps, 4 goals for Martinique. Started their friendlies back in March. Can't see Martinique in World Cup qualifying because of their affiliation with France, but you see them in Gold Cup and Nations League, and they have really done wonders these last couple of years. They've threatened some of the top teams in CONCACAF, and Berner has been at the heart of that, driving up and down that right flank.
They cannot afford to lose another defender. Colorado Springs. Isaiah Foster out with injury. He's actually just made his way back. Is available off the bench tonight. You mentioned Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala, who are away on national team duty in the World Cup. Injuries galore across that back line, and really whether it was in league play or USL Cup, that's the other thing, is when you look at this team, we can talk about what they need to do on the attacking front. They have bagged 20 goals. Yeah. We said that earlier. That's currently tied for 3rd best in the Western Conference, 7th overall in championship play. They've also given up 19. And a lot of that, when you look at them making their own mistakes, you rotate so many players, you lose consistency in squad selection. Anybody's going to suffer from not having regular reps next to each other.
Feels like they will zone in at some point once the health comes, assuming the health comes. They've been so unlucky this year. Hernandez blocked by Tejada, rightfully so. Otherwise, could have spelled some danger. Antonio in 2nd place in the live standings. A win tonight could take them into 1st. It's felt rather ho-hum because of some layoffs they've had in the schedule in these last few weeks. A win on the road against Colorado Springs would remind everybody of San Antonio's status. But here comes Hanya for Colorado Springs. Looking for support, finally finds it. In the form of Adrian Perez. Brennan Creek. Williams. Here's Perez once again. Coming over from Louisville this year, finds Williams. Williams delivers toward Bennett, flicked away. Vital from Danny Barbier. Otherwise, Corey Bennett would have had his 10th goal of the season.
Nice ball in from Sam Williams, but notice how narrow they are on the left-hand side. That's got to be a better conversation between Yosuke Hanya and Juan Tejada. Aiden Rocha is fearful of releasing high from that left flank. Understandably so, with all the numbers that San Antonio possess when they transition on the right side. But within that, it's become a bit one-dimensional. So you come through the midfield, you come down the right side, you don't have the balance on the left. They've got to be more aggressive coming down the left-hand flank.
Williams gives the signal. Williams looking near post. Quajo sends it clear. Quajo again defending. The offside flag came up. It's been a sneaky big pickup, Emil Quajo, for San Antonio. Part of Phoenix's trophy lift in 2023, vital in that run in the postseason. Player with MLS experience with the LA Galaxy. This is his second stint with San Antonio. Emil Quajo. Dangerous getting forward as a wingback with 2 assists this season. Doesn't forsake his defensive responsibilities. It's the life of a modern wingback. Have to do both. He does both. And a free kick again for Colorado Springs. We haven't seen a card yet. Nothing has really risen to that level, but you do wonder if Kalin Radosov is going to bring one out at some point soon just to settle things down a little bit. Nothing has been egregious. It's been tough from both sides, but nothing that has reached beyond the limits. That wasn't really either.
No, but the argument from the home team there was, oh, we're going to transition. Or denial of a promising attack. Yeah, it's a half-hearted argument.
And a lot of traffic there at midfield. Yeah, it wasn't too promising.
Sure, and I was going to win the Golden Boot. Talk about that at halftime, too. Sort of.
Kind of.
The kids call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, you are going to get a lot of people angry for one decision you made at halftime. We'll get there as well.
Yeah.
Into stoppage time now in this first half. And I'm not talking about your jacket selection today. I like that, but it's something else you did at halftime that I do not like. There's a reason for it, though.
I think the kids call that a tease.
4 minutes of stoppage time here in this first half. Another corner for Colorado Springs. Perez, driven ball to the back post. Tejada was lurking. Didn't make it through. The foul goes against Hernandez. He thought it was going to be called in his favor as he felt he was off for the races.
Watch his left arm, though. Pretty sure this is about his left arm, and he pulls over the shoulder before he's actually taken down. That's tight. You know, in live play, you could understand what my argument is, but he's more so jockeying for position as opposed to pulling. That angle, though.
That angle, it's a foul. He grabbed the arm.
He did get it right.
He did get it right. So did Kalin Radosov. He was a very good referee.
It has managed the game well. I will say right now, you're hoping that it settles so you can get into the dressing room instead of letting it boil over, and that'll certainly be an interesting walk down the tunnel for everybody involved.
He was a referee of the year last year. He was the man on the whistle in the College Cup final. Very, very respected referee in the pro and college ranks. Coming over for a word with the combatants at the edge of the area, lining up for this free kick. Perez ends up putting that one on goal. I don't think that's what he had in mind. Away from the ball, Hanya and Hernandez were into it again. San Antonio's arguing that Hanya brought an elbow up into the face of Hernandez, and meanwhile behind that, Maldonado was also down for a separate challenge. So we might be getting to a point now that this is spilling over before halftime. Thankfully, it's coming now These teams will have 15 minutes to cool off a bit, but Tejada and Mikey Maldonado are going at it. Watch the tail end of this one. Tejada is tracking Maldonado, lunges in late there.
Oh boy.
It was away from the ball to the left side that Hanya got into it with Hernandez almost simultaneously. I don't think Radosov saw either as he was tracking the ball, and with no VAR, you can't go back and litigate. So no card shown, just the foul granted. But I don't think it's going to take long for that first card to come out, be it in this last minute of stoppage time or be it to begin the second half. Radosov and crew trying to temper this game as tempers flare. Williams on the same page as Corey Bennett. Ward. Hernandez running out of room, cut off by Mahoney. 20 seconds to go. They could get a long throw in if they want. Send the bodies forward. Yeah, Joaquin Ward's going to lead this now. Their long throw specialist is Mikey Maldonado. Center backs range forward. It's good awareness situationally from San Antonio, seeing this will probably be the last play of the half. Bring the center backs up, get your long throw specialist on it, and see if you can't steal the lead going into halftime. Maldonado launches it. Bennett rises to meet it. And before Maldonado can recover it, the whistle blows to end half number one. Colorado Springs took the lead 15 minutes in, courtesy of Corey Bennett. And that lead lasted just 14 minutes before Mitri Arofave tied things up for San Antonio. Tempers flaring at the end of this first half between two teams who do not like each other. Two teams who are considered among the best in the Western Conference, and they are even after 45. Ziggy was shooting fireworks out of his fingers before this game. We didn't talk about that enough. Maybe as this game goes on, maybe we'll see what Devin has up his sleeve for some awards around the league coming up after this. It's Colorado Springs and San Antonio, knotted at 1. 1-1 at the break between Colorado Springs and San Antonio. It has been the hard-fought battle that we expected so far here this evening. We'll see what's in store the rest of the night as we welcome you back inside of our booth alongside the ex-Sherman Pro Devin Kerr. I'm Joe Malfa, and when I say ex-Sherman Pro, former center back. Usually you stick up for your brothers, and I said it before at halftime that I was very disappointed in something that you did or did not do. We're going to go through the midseason awards. You left Defender of the Year off. You played with Vincent Kompany. What are we doing, man?
Well, here's the difference is you're very much a glass half empty type guy. I say on the positive, glass half full, and that the defenders have been great this year. Joey Apinonu, Brian Schaefer. We've seen some great defending overall, but there's no definitive. So instead, I'm going to throw in the golden playmaker that is usually for the man with the most assists at the end of the season. But I'm going to talk about being a well-rounded attacking visionary in the final third, and it is Jorge Hernandez from San Antonio FC. He's in the top 0.04%, you heard that right, in the league of goals and assists, one of just 3 players in that conversation. His ability to continuously be inventive 30 yards and in is why he gets the midseason award for the golden playmaker. Now, an easy one we're going to transition to is Anthony Siaha. 7 most clean sheets, okay, that could be considered a team award as well. And as good as the back line is for Hartford Athletic, they do break down. 3rd most saves in the league for a guy that has the most clean sheets. It's not just roses and perfume in front of him. He's been called on quite a few times, and it's his voice. He is such a leader. That commanding presence has allowed Hartford Athletic to retain relevance in the Eastern Conference, even in the absence of goals. Young Player of the Year, spoiler alert, Colton Swan scored again. This is a prototypical number 9 for the Charleston Battery that is coming into his own. Get him into the box, no problem, he can score. But his link-up play, his ability to drag players with him, he has really matured as the season has gone on and was just one of 3 players recently called up to the U20 men's national team, not in MLS and not in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Can't wait to see what the future holds for Colton Swan out of the Charleston Battery. Last but not least, Darren Smith. Because yes, he had 5 goals in a single match. Yes, it tied the most in league history. And yes, he put up the first ever perfect rating on FOTMob for a championship player. But he too doesn't get enough credit for combination play. As good as Danny Deku and Detroit City have become on the ball, his movement off the ball, his ability to create with all the players around him has earned him opportunities in front of net, and he's capitalized nearly every single time.
Your center backs group chat is going to take you somewhere out on a hike in those mountains and leave you there for leaving Defender of the Year off. But I get why you did it. We'll have more highlights from the first half when we come back. Colorado Springs and San Antonio knotted at 1. sun setting here in Colorado Springs. 1-1 through the first 45 minutes. Entertaining stuff between two teams who tend to entertain. It was 3-3 the last time they met. And walking back through highlights from that first half, it was all Colorado Springs early.
Beautiful start from the home team, and really impressed by defensively how they were pressing San Antonio, prohibiting their ability to cleanly play off the back line. Good pressure off the right flank from Adrian Perez, and I respect the fact that even though he's not able to create link up on the first move, he continues coming forward. Yosuke Hanya attacking outside, and that's something that Colorado Springs struggled with as the half went on. They're going to want to attack at the start of the second, but another goal from the penalty spot for Corey Bennett. 1-0 Colorado Springs. A response had to be immediate, and it would be just inside 15 minutes later. The way that San Antonio found an equalizer was they were more aggressive, a little bit more direct as well when they started to move up high. But within that, you still need layers within the attack. Perfect here by Jorge Hernandez and Micha Yerdofev. As the play starts to slow down, you don't hit the panic button. Christian Sordo keeps it alive, as does Hakeem Ward, and the golden playmaker links up with the 19-year-old, make it 1-1. The rest of the 15 minutes benefited San Antonio FC. They were the better team heading into the dressing room, but emotions started to flare, tempers started to follow. Expect a fiery one to start the second half.
Yeah, bottom of your screen there, no yellow cards either side. Expect that to change going into half number 2. The way things flared up at the end of half number 1. It's Colorado Springs, it's San Antonio, it's two recent title winners in the USL Championship. Half number 2 is on the way. Our travel map is brought to you by Best Western. Jorge Hernandez has been everywhere for San Antonio.
Massive influence in the first half. What you want to look at is his level of efficiency up high. Just 14 accurate passes in the first half. That's not a ton. 12 in the final third. That's what you want if you're head coach Carlos Somoza. Nobody on Colorado Springs had more than 8. Nobody else on San Antonio had more than 4. So maybe you limit his overall touches, but he's still doing it in an advanced position. And what was the last thing that I talked to Carlos Somoza about? His work rate off the ball defensively, encapsulated by all of that area that was on the right side of your screen.
He's the type of player, to your point, if he doesn't have the quantity on a given night, you better bet the quality is going to be there. That
Always.
Is never lacking for Jorge Hernandez, and he's still chatting with Kalin Radosov. This is all spilling over from the end of that first half when tempers flared and there were a couple of maybe potential forearms thrown, some late contact after whistles. Keep an eye on how quick Kalin Radosov is to maybe bring a card out in this second half and nip things in the bud. Alex Cornelli has done well anchoring the San Antonio back line tonight. They've dealt with everything in the air. It'll be San Antonio in the blue and white from left to right. Colorado Springs in the all black from right to left. 1-1 after 45 minutes. 4-4 after 3 halves this season between these two sides. A 3-3 draw back at the beginning of May. It was 1-1 at the half that night. What do we have in store in this second half tonight? Away we go. Good to have you with us on ESPN2. With Devin Kerr, I'm Joe Malfa. Two teams who are sniffing around the top couple of spots in the Western Conference standings. A win tonight for Colorado Springs brings them into 4th, and there'd be a game out of 1st. A win tonight for San Antonio would propel them into 1st place, pending the result elsewhere tonight from Orange County against Miami. And that is looking like an Orange County victory. It's the 83rd minute, and they're up 3-2 on Miami. So if that does hold, San Antonio would not be able to overtake 1st tonight, but they could draw closer. We had Orange County on Saturday, another team that sort of fits the bill of San Antonio and Colorado Springs, where the pieces are all there. The pieces haven't all been healthy. They've managed results along the way. They've left some points on the table, and you maybe could look at it glass half empty because of that, and yet they're in 1st place. So it's a giant ball of yarn to untangle in the Western Conference. It's probably going to take until the last weekend of the season to solve it all. And the playoffs are going to be a gauntlet as well. Bennett, his jersey tug there, every step of the way from Barbier, misfires.
It's not that dissimilar an argument for Orange County as for Colorado Springs. A little bit leaky on the back line over the course of the year. Orange County started strong, but I'd say the majority of the idea for them is also finding form for a 9. You got some of that tonight if you're head coach Danny Stone. Yaniv Bazzini, former national champion at Vermont, bagged himself a brace. Stephen Kelly got involved in the action, their attacking playmaker, and Nico Benalcazar, Wake Forest man, 2 assists as well. It's a star-studded stat sheet.
Out of the woods, yeah. Still a few minutes there to go in Miami. They lead by 1. After Miami FC just scored moments ago to make it 3-2. Keep you updated when that one goes final. Ball stayed in briefly. Now out of play.
There's no woods in Miami, Joe. It's the Everglades.
Touche. Let's try to think of a comeback. I didn't have one. Good job. You win that round. Maldonado, Cornelli. Ward starts his run. Here's Hernandez, has some space, threading it through for Ward. Still Ward, he knocked it down. Ward almost got it through. Sorto was lurking, it'll be a corner.
This should have been the second on the course of the night, if not for Maples sliding all the way back over. Back line beaten, unfortunate off the deflection against Captain Matt Mahoney. Well done by Akeem Ward to continue playing up high, and he's clever. Wants to cut it back across. Sordo right atop the penalty mark, but beautifully read by the center back in Talon Maples. That was a big pickup for them in the offseason, bringing him over from New Mexico United. Slow start in form overall, but he's got real control of that center back spot over the last 5 or 6 matches for Colorado Springs, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
We talked about it in the opening minutes of this game. For Alan McCann, the more blunt, direct nature is something the players wanted in their exit meetings at the end of last season. More communication with the coaching staff. Talon Maples among those who he was direct with Alan McCann, and the performance has shifted ever since that come together moment. Short off the corner. Back to Hernandez. Curls a great ball in again. If you want to put a dime on the field, Hernandez will hit it. Floated back over the top, Barbier tracking it to center back. Reminder, it's a center back. You left him out of your halftime awards. Be kind here, Devin.
Certainly out of his comfort zone here, Danny Barbier. It's a beautiful ball whipped back in, though. Smart by Ward. Great first touch, push back through, and that's one there as the defender. Form over finesse. Like, you want to just be as simplistic as possible, not put your name in lights, and instead dumb the game down, put your instep on it, grab the go-ahead. Oh, how's that behind the scenes? Forget the first yellow. There were some extracurriculars just behind our referee. I'm not going to be shocked if there's a conversation with the 4th official here.
He's chatting right now in the earpiece with the 4th official, Colleen Radosov. He's looking over in that direction. 4th official, Bowen Taylor, still talking. Listening in the earpiece. Again, there's no VAR. This isn't some VAR room buzzing in. This is the 4th official talking to him.
Right decision initially, though. The pull from behind. All right, it's a promising attack. Eurofave knows exactly what he's doing. Creek is off and running, so you take him down the yellow. I tell you, I mean, there's intent there. There's no doubt about that from Mikey Maldonado.
And he did pick up a yellow card as well. So after that conversation with the 4th official, no red. It didn't elevate to that level for Maldonado, but he ends up in the book. So it's Eurofave and Maldonado in together after no cards to this point. Back-to-back in one play.
Yeah, you and I would both agree that's fair in the moment. You know, it's a subjective thing in the sense that if a referee doesn't have the conversation with the 4th official, if the angle's not there, was there enough, was there not? But clearly in our replay, and certainly what the 4th official saw on the sideline, is the contact is lower than if the elbow goes flagrant up high, catches someone up in the head area, you're in an early shower. That is the right decision with the yellow.
I want to go back to that chance now for Barbier while the ball's out. Would you have not gone with your head in that moment? It seemed like it was high enough. It was too low?
Well, the only reason I say that is he is drifting a little bit. And so to try and move your body into a position where you're going to redirect with your head and maintain enough momentum on the ball, remember, that's tough. That's also why I lean in the sense of put your instep through it. You know, as you're starting to move one way, your body's coming across the ball. Laces are a difficult angle to try and attack. It's the easiest reaction in the moment, but the most simplistic finish and the most efficient is going to be your instep.
Here he is again, meeting it in the air. Cornally went for the bike, missed it. And again, Barbier, this time in the air, causing some chaos. Could this be another yellow? A transitional foul again against Will Quajo. Looks like he'll get away without one, but you could argue if you're Colorado Springs, how is that any different than what Eurofave just did a moment ago?
Well, I said heading into the dressing room, given the fireworks that was, it was going to be action-packed and emotion-filled. Certainly we've gotten that 8 minutes in. What a ball!
The touch to bring it down from Perez, took him a bit wide. Can he recover here in the corner, battling Quajo? We'll leave this for Sam Williams. He'll gather again at the penalty spot for a long throw. Cornally nearly pulled off the spectacular here off that header from Barbier. Just couldn't quite time it up. The net was empty. Shuttler came off his line.
friendly reminder, Alex Crognale is certainly not going to lack for confidence when it comes to this fixture. They thought they had the game winner from him in the 98th minute back on May 2nd.
Long throw, tracking it, Batruni. The backpedal there, positioning a bit awkward.
The center back from San Antonio hit one from just inside the top of the 18 that trickled in, if not for the drop in the 100th minute. Also, Alex Crognale hit one from the parking lot against El Paso Locomotive. If you haven't seen it, pretty much every social media outlet picked it up. 70-yard banger that has still retained a little bit of a dagger in the hearts of El Paso Locomotive fans.
Still a goal of the year candidate. There's been plenty of bangers, but that one's up there. Also, Alex Crognale, Maryland Terrapin. Took until minute 55. I thought you would have had the under on that. Corner dropped in. Tejada. Nice call for the foul.
There's a ton of contact. Naples involved on the backside of Mitch Tainter. Look at the pressure.
Shirt on a shirt in that quadrant there. Colorado Springs, but San Antonio plays out of it. And has some space to work with. Tainter.
I really like the idea that initially is played out well. The problem is Sorto can't come low there. You lose the presence up high and you're one-dimensional.
Hanya.
Very fortunate, San Antonio FC. That was a lot of numbers committed up high. As they don't commit off the turnover, then all of a sudden you've left yourself wide open. Those are the type of moments that we've seen over the 7-game stretch that they've really opened themselves up defensively. Again, 13 goals throughout that stretch, that really 2 goals a game. That's not what they're about. This is a team that had 6 shutouts in their first 11 games, only 1 in their last 7, because if you're going to commit, you got to do it together. And if you don't get the units to follow suit from one end to the other, you leave yourself fractured.
It was a big theme in the conversation with Carlos Chamosa, the fracture that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Disconnects between the lines. If you took each part of the field and divided it up into thirds, they haven't been bad in any of the thirds individually, but in the collective, it's the gaps between the thirds that they've really struggled. It's the opposite issue for Colorado Springs. It's the fracture between the thirds for San Antonio. It's operating in both boxes for Colorado Springs that has plagued them in the eyes of Alan McCannell. That has been cleaned up a little bit these last few games when they picked up some more wins. Here they go again. On a play, difficult for Hanya to contort.
Yeah, they're just looking for balance on either side of the width right now. Hanya and Adrian Perez. I do like that they've kept Perez more on the perimeter, allow that midfield 3 to go to work, apply pressure, and because there's not as much release coming out of the middle, what you are allowing is you're allowing constant pressure just in front of the back 3. So your front 3 attackers for Colorado Springs can go man v man, and then the secondary wave creates a 3v2. That's exactly what you want defensively. You get the turnover, and now you have the man advantage. It's once they play in behind and you don't retreat back with all that movement, you can get yourselves into trouble. But that's not an issue right now. Much better organization overall on the defensive front for Colorado Springs.
And the issue for Colorado Springs right now is Adrian Perez cannot continue in this game. They just got Jonas Fjellberg up off the bench, and he will replace Perez. Doesn't have an assist tonight, per se, Perez, but he helped create the penalty that led to the opening goal.
What's more concerning is he's the one who just hit this ball onto the back post for Yosuke Hanya. Nobody touched him, and after the fact just has gone down on his own.
Diaz is in 11 appearances with 7 starts this season, has a goal. Maybe underwhelmed in Louisville last couple of years after a 10-goal season in San Diego in 2023. Louisville felt like they might have been getting more. To be fair, it was a star-studded front line for Lou City. He took more of a complimentary role, had some injuries along the way. Found his groove with Colorado Springs to some extent now this season. So is Jonas Fieldberg, another player who has had injuries that have really put a damper on things. Injuries cost him the end of 2024 in the playoff run for that title-winning team, but he was instrumental in getting them to the seed they enjoyed and having home field advantage in the postseason that year. Last year, played 25 games, but still limited to just 14 starts. Little knocks here and there limited his playing time, even though it didn't limit his appearances per se. Same thing this year. This is his 11th appearance, only 3 starts. A player with all the talent, Jonas Fieldberg, just hasn't been able to stay on the field for Colorado Springs. Dangerous when he's out there, though.
Glass half full, though, as the theme continues on the night. I do like the fact that you're going to see a switch here. With Fieldberg coming in, he'll occupy the left flank. Hanya will go out to the right. He's better out there. He's better driving with the game in front, keeping it on his favored right side, and getting down into the channel, making the backline shift with him, as opposed to starting to attack to the inside. And the one thing that had happened was he and Juan Tejada had trouble collaborating with each other. They were pinching in, playing too narrow. Now you get him to stay out on the right. Gives you better presence on the width of the field, better service into the 18-yard box.
Hour gone, half hour remains here at Widener Field in Colorado Springs, alongside the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. I'm Joe Malfa, happy to have you with us this evening, watching the USL on ESPN. 1-1, Colorado Springs and San Antonio. Met to a 3-3 draw a month ago. It's at this stage of the game where it really came to life in early May. Well, it's spring more to life again now. Sorto, a little shimmy to the end line. Sorto, did it take a deflection? Did not, in the eyes of the referee. Goal kick.
You do wonder, with what has been a very intermittent performance on the night for Sorto, being effective up high, how long head coach Carlos Hermoso waits to bring someone like Santi Patino on. We've gotten Cristian Perano back as well, but specifically the 9 spot, giving yourself the ability to be more effective. Sorto's had a couple of looks, but not frequently enough.
We did get a final in Miami. Orange County tacked on one more in stoppage time. The teenage reference Solis on the assist from Usman Silla. So 4-2 win for Orange County. And they sit in first place. They will occupy that at the end of the night no matter what. Now, regardless of what San Antonio does here. Fieldberg onside. Jonas Fieldberg leaves it for Juan Tejada. Tejada blocked by Ward. Mendez drives one long. Behind the play, Akeem Ward is down. I think this stems from his block of the Juan Tejada shot. Might need a moment.
If only were there a universal cure for such a moment.
There's your look, Orange County creating some space. All those teams at the top, Orange County, San Antonio, Oakland in the live table, on 14 games played. So we are comparing apples and apples. Halfway point of the season is game 15, so we are right about to hit that mark. Sleep on FC Tulsa, by the way. Really slow start to this season, now in 4th place within striking distance. The reigning Western Conference champions finding the groove again under Luke Spencer. Right around the same time they found that lengthy unbeaten run last year that propelled them the rest of the way. Ultimately losing to the Pittsburgh River Hounds in the title game last season. Pittsburgh also finding a groove, unbeaten in their last 4 games. 3 of those wins, now in 5th in the Eastern Conference. This is around the time where the men and the boys get separated in the USL Championship, although I don't think anybody's separating in the Western Conference the way things have gone so far. Spill for Hanya. Well done in behind. Patrick Berner brought down. That should be yellow. And a free kick coming. Leo Cuejo enters the book. And that's why every play matters. He maybe should have been yellow carded 15 minutes ago for a transitional foul. He would not have been able to make this defensive play had that card been shown then.
Really good, though, coming off the back line from Matt Mahoney. One thing they haven't really tested all that much over the course of the evening is trying to play direct in behind to their wingers. What a touch. Patrick Berner moving from that outside back position. Beautiful angle, clean in front of him, can maintain his pace, and you almost have to if you're Cuejo. Very fortunate that the contact occurs just before he hits the inside of the box. And just keep an eye open right here. This is a gray area with this angle where set pieces, things that you work on in training, tough to go direct to goal. Difficult distance to be able to get something up and down, although the left side of your screen, wide open, Brennan Creek. A lot of times team will try and triangulate, work around the wall to get a strike on goal, but Creek wide open on the back post.
Williams looking that way. Barbier heads it clear. Williams keeps it alive. Everybody was offside. So in the end, a worthwhile yellow card for Emil Cuejo. 3 in the book now for San Antonio. Cuejo, Maldonado, Irofave. Quieter second half so far. Jorge Hernandez, like we said though in the first half, if the quantity isn't there, the quality certainly is. All it takes is one. If he's lurking right now. Here he is, Hernandez. At that time, Spielberg stood his ground. Ball still in play. Runs out. Maldonado. Tainter operating on the left side of that back line. Well, Shimosa likes him there because of the service, because of the diagonal. He's taking his space here. Cuejo. Irofave, back for Cuejo, Silky. Cuejo on the volley. Never great when it ends up out for a throw.
Not a bad idea, though, and the problem for Cuejo on the back end of this is the way it hops up off the deck. Takes an awkward bounce, and he can't catch clean contact. But I like the combination play. If you start to see Colorado Springs dig deeper into their shell, you're going to need even higher distribution coming off the back 3 from San Antonio, and moments like that from Mitch Tainter where he draws in that first line, just real quick, feeds the outside and creates the mismatch is what you're going to need.
San Antonio preparing a couple of changes of their own. Like Ricky Hernandez was preparing to come on. He played 1 game so far this season, 8 minutes. So he works back into full fitness. I wonder if that might be for Mikey Maldonado, who's been in a couple of pickles in this game with some extracurriculars and has a yellow. Cornali. Sorto. Those minutes might be numbered in this game as well. Sorto cuts it back. Irofave curling it, deflected, and out for a corner.
Really looked like they outkicked their coverage. Christian Sorto pinned himself down into the corner, but great vision to keep the ball alive, to keep the play alive on the cutback across, and fine Irofave. The scouting report for you. Great job to keep it alive, keep the play alive, cutbacks.
I don't know what report you were reading.
Progress report from the playground when you were 3.
Rocha and Tainer going at it here. Tainer sort of looked like he was on a slip and slide on his way through the box there. A little bit of a shove from Rocha. I don't know if it needed the reaction it got from Tainter, but veteran captain trying to elicit something. Outswinger from the corner, the header is in! Alex Cronali giving San Antonio the lead. Tempers flaring behind the play as well. Brennan Creek is down. Rolling around is Jorge Hernandez. Let's see if we get a look at that. I don't know if we did. Cronali celebrates at the other end of the field. There's a lot for Kalin Radosov to sort out. When the dust settles, the visitors will have a lead with 20 minutes to play.
There's been one thing that's clear all night long between these two teams. Near perfect. Balls into the box from set pieces. How do you leave him that unmarked? This is a good ball by Jorge Hernandez, but Cronali just shifts back atop the 6 and powers right through it. Mitchell Tainer's got rotation to the near side, which does create a tiny pocket. That explosion by Danny Barbier helps, but no reason whatsoever. If you're wearing a switchback jersey, you don't get a body on a guy that's just over 6'5", having an incredible year on the attacking end. A leader working off that back 3. Has now bagged his 4th goal of the season. Ties a career high he set with Orange County back in 2018 en route to the Western Conference title.
Kalin Radosov still sorting everything out from the infraction after the goal. The battle between these teams. Now the substitutions coming for both sides. That'll be all for Dmitry Erofeev. He's replaced by Nicky Hernandez, and it's Christian Perrano taking the spot of Mikey Maldonado. Those are actually will be flipped positionally on the subs. On the other side, Sam Williams gives way to Speedy Williams. Yosuke Hanya departing for Saddam Masareka. So 2 changes on either side. Trying to get this right back now. Colorado Springs. Masareka was first to it, his first touch and subbing on. Told that Brennan Creek at the end of that exchange after the goal was scored did pick up a yellow for Colorado Springs. Stage is set for a dramatic finish now. Visitors with a lead. Tempers certainly flaring. Alex Cronali has a knack for being under the skin of opponents, and his celebration probably furthered that to both the fans and the players wearing black tonight. Threaded through. Creek looking further on for Pennant. Striding ahead as Sorto. It's Perrano. That last touch was heavy. Carries on though. Perrano through for Sorto. Won't get there.
Notice who had to pull out of the tackle, Brennan Greek. He just picked up a yellow for all the theatrics after the go-ahead goal by San Antonio FC. If he pulled him down in that situation, Christian Perano would have brought them down to 10. Smartly done by the attacker to cut back into that negative space in front of him.
Cronelli's goal, his 4th this season. It's another assist from the corner. Jorge Hernandez up to 5 assists. Rocha driving into the space. Tejada's calling for it. It goes beyond him instead. Dummied through. Burner. Masareka. Williams. Speedy Williams returning this season after a year in Lexington. Won the title with Colorado Springs in 24. Overlap for Rocha. Centered. Cleared by the man with the go-ahead goal, Alex Cronelli. Same issue popping up for Alan McCann's group that we talked about. A conversation with him ahead of this game, just not clean enough at times in the boxes. Had opportunities, especially early in that first half, where they could have added a second. They haven't had too many defensive instances in their box, but one of the times they do, they get burned on a corner, losing track of maybe the best aerial threat on the field right now. And Alex Cronelli, who scored his 4th of the year. But they could make amends, a corner of their own for the home side. Be one you look back on for San Antonio that sparks a run. Schedule that's been inconsistent. Multiple double-digit stretches of days off over the last few weeks. They're heading into another stretch of time off. Can they do so with 3 points on the road from the corner? And it cleared by Tainter. It's the standard they've set as a club, and now under Carlos Llamosa in year 2. They only have 1 loss since mid-April, but there's been a bunch of draws in there. It hasn't been good enough. Their level hasn't been attained. We went on the road against this team. It's a big step back in the right direction for a team that'll just be a couple of points out of first. If they hold on, 13 minutes plus stoppage, in a fixture that had a lot of late drama when they met just over a month ago, finished 3-3. Goals coming super late in stoppage time. This one's far from over.
They just continue to make friends after the fact, Colorado Springs. Patrick Burner, the pressure over the back shoulder. It's really good read by Jorge Hernandez to close off the angle. Burner with another clean first touch, but the reaction from the playmaker from San Antonio, spot on.
Two more changes coming now for San Antonio. Christian Sorto will give way to Santiago Patino, and Jorge Hernandez will take a seat. Luke Hawkinson replaces him. Hernandez sits with 2 assists this evening. Another outstanding showing from San Antonio's midfield maestro.
And recognizing that though they're attacking names that are making their way onto the statistician seat, this is just as much about securing those initial defensive lines for the visitors with Just inside 12 minutes to go. Fresh legs. Hackinson there, Pirano, Patino, all with the ability to get a lot of ground coverage, put more pressure on Switchbacks, who have become more of a build 3 off that back line. They're trying to release Burner a little bit higher on that right-hand side. Allow Rocha, Maples, and Mahoney to just sit, control more of the tempo. More of a 1v1 scenario has not taken place over the last 5 minutes because of the changes. Well done by Omosa.
He's down. He intended to for a cramp. Hernandez now finally making his way off the field as a sub. 9th in the league in assists in all time. We've been saying this the last couple of years, maybe expecting him to go a level higher. So long as he stays here, he is going to continue toppling assist numbers in this league. Picked up by Hawkinson. First touches since subbing on seconds ago. Cuejo delivering almost instant impacts from the other sub, Santiago Patino, as well.
With the numbers that San Antonio are willing to commit defensively, you need to be more active with your 2 holding mids and Speedy Williams and Brennan Creek for Colorado Springs. If it's one player sitting behind the 3, that's difficult for him to find those pockets. But when you run 2 side by side like this, you have the ability to create link-up play on the outside, crossing patterns, and then long passages to open up the game.
Williams opens it up. Fjellberg trying to thread the needle for Corey Bennett. It's good to see Speedy Williams healthy and back out there again for Colorado Springs. Leg injury kept him out until the end of May. This is his 4th appearance. Only one of those to start. It came last game in the win against Tulsa.
Well, imagine they get him healthy and you get the Williams brothers on the inside, Speedy and Sam, and Fire and Ice, what they can do, the amount of control you would have centrally. Sam Williams on loan from the Chicago Fire. Speedy Williams, who has come back, as you mentioned, the title-winning season of 2024. Only player in USL Championship history to win 4 titles. He's also the only player that did it with 3 different teams. And such a wide variety of systems, his adaptability, and contrary to his nickname, not exactly known for being fleet of foot, more so control on the ball like that.
Running Creek out wide. Fjellberg drives it toward goal. It skips up off that turf in a difficult way, but Petruni made it look easy.
Really nice move, though, and going right back to what we were talking about. Quick lateral movement. You still have the ability to stretch coming forward. Excellent decision by Fjellberg. Just cuts in, hits the release. This is a much more difficult save than it looks to be. Hop about 3 yards in front of the goalkeeper. All the more so impressive from Petruni, who's taken too long here, and this is one of the new rules.
One of the new initiatives this year. You're seeing it at the World Cup as well. Goalkeeper has to pay attention to the referee's count. If he senses you're taking too much time, he can award it and turn it over to a corner for the other team. Well, that proved costly.
That's not 10 yards. Neither is that.
Fjellberg delivers it. Comes out from Masarenka. That one's on its way to Denver.
That's a half chance for distance, but it is a confidence builder. I don't know if it made it an hour and a half down the road or not. Certainly at least the Air Force Academy.
Hey, the air is thin here. That traveled away.
It'll fly, that's right.
Goal and 4 assists this season. First year as a pro for Saddam Masarenka, 21-year-old from Uganda.
And now you get into the different layers for Colorado Springs. I mentioned the build 3, and that's a foul contact after the fact. You know, releasing Aiden Roach up into the midfield, giving yourself more options There's comfort within the two center backs, of Talon Maples and Matt Mahoney. They need to be more aggressive. Those two guys have commanding the back line, starting the initial move and releasing the players in front of them.
Two changes for Colorado Springs. Isaiah Foster replaces Juan Tejada. Frank DeRomo replaces Brendan Creek. Just saw Niall McCabe, the lead assistant coach for Colorado Springs, looking at the back line and holding up 3 fingers. Could this signal a shift in the formation for Colorado Springs with 3 at the back going for a goal now? He's just relaying that message to his back line. There's DeRoma. Sneaky big pickup, not in stature, but in terms of the move itself from El Paso in the offseason. Passes, touches, passing accuracy, duels won, ball recoveries. He stuffs the stat sheet in all those categories, quietly going about his business in the midfield. It's left there for Berner. Berner chips it up over the top, looking for DeRoma. And it's fielded by Batruni. Minutes plus stoppage for Colorado Springs to find an equalizer. I'd like to remind you, though, when these teams met back at the beginning of May, there were 3 goals scored after the 83rd minute. 3-3 draw is where it finished. Colorado Springs on the road had a 2-1 lead. San Antonio on the road has a 2-1 lead. We're past the 83rd minute. I'm not saying it's going to happen again. I'm just saying the exact same setup as we had just over a month ago. Will the last 15 minutes be as entertaining, because that game went plus 10 in stoppage? I think we've had that much stoppage time out there yet in this second half. Bennett chasing, so is Sareka. Calm header back for Batruni. Notice if there was a touch from Masareka. It will be a yellow.
I don't know if I agree with this one.
I'm going to say, let's see if this is a future Oscar for Batruni or if it's an actual yellow on Masareka.
Pulling out of it, too. I mean, no chance.
Didn't even touch him.
No chance. I mean, I'd even make the argument that even if there's a slight touch, which there's not, he's not trying to commit a foul, create contact, anything.
You hear the fans booing. The same look that we just saw was shown on the board. So we're missed from Colleen Radosov, the official.
And he found the little seam to work through. The crack, head and toe. Certainly no actual contact after the fact, though.
I'm sure there's plenty of folks on either side of the University of Virginia or University of Maryland rivalry who watched that and had some flashbacks as well between Masareka and Batruni.
Little known fact that during the gold rush, many a French made their way to the western frontier, and apparently so is their natural dialect.
Hakeem Ward plays it through. Pirano, well defended by Rocha. DeRoma. Is that ball out of play yet? It was. And Akeem Ward is lucky because that would have been an intentional handball and a second yellow for him. Doesn't make sense to do what he did in that moment. You'd think maybe if you're down, you'd want to save the ball from going further out of play to get it in quickly. You're winning right now. Let that ball roll as far away from the sideline as it can. And now almost cost yourself a second yellow in the process. Into the 90th minute we go. No official word on stoppage yet. I guess around 5. It's been pretty straightforward in the second half, but a couple of injuries. This one looped to the back post. It's just wide from Fieldberg. You could see he was running out of steam and lunged for it.
Well, you think he's running out of steam. I think he's fearing what's coming in terms of contact, and the goalkeeper hears footsteps. But Joey Petruni pulls out of this as well, but he hesitates. Fieldberg had a clear path. What a ball that was. Whipped into the 6 by Isaiah Foster. I'd like him a little bit higher with the tactical change that we referenced. Getting that wing back higher is going to give him a better angle, as it will his attackers, but still good opportunity, and Fieldberg should have done it better.
Roma. Seven tacked on. Ample opportunity for the home side to find an equalizer. Foster. Soreka.
Nice
well defended.
Yeah, really good.
Toronto dangerous with this, dribbling in his own defensive third. Bailed out by the whistle.
Rocha frustrated on the back end of this, but watch the lower portion. No contact here, right here and from behind. But does he get a touch on the ball? Probably, but also needed E, coming from a negative position. Always going to have the referee pull the whistle on that moment.
Soreka overran it. Recovers, brought down by Cronali. Cronali will see yellow. Free kick in a dangerous spot coming for Colorado Springs.
Some good movements from both Isaiah Foster and Saddam Masareka since coming on. The crossing pattern that had opened things up on the near touchline. He gets the center back to hold his hips for a second, and as his feet slow, good intensity on the explosion just in front of him, lures the contact in. And as we mentioned before, if anything's been true over the course of the night, dead ball situations have been perfect.
Rocha. Off the training ground, but out for a throw. Rocha's frustrated as he goes into the ad boards at the end. Oh, he wasn't ready for it. He was still exerting his frustrations from the misplay on the free kick. Foster didn't realize he threw it into Rocha, who wasn't expecting it.
He's got to pay attention instead. Long scooter right onto the back line. Soft, but the right one. Got to keep going here. His emotions gotten in the way. Aiden Rocha. Love him as a player. His versatility. Got to be better in the moment, though.
Atkinson almost for Patino. And the eye contact. He started to peel away. Patino. Ball didn't make it through. Now it's Quajo. Step from Mahoney. It's out for a San Antonio throw, and more time can tick away. Almost halfway through the 7 minutes of stoppage that were given. San Antonio looking to get back on track after a 2-0 defeat at Lexington 11 days ago. It's tough to go into that long of a break after that type of a loss. You're just stewing for that length of time. Switchbacks on the flip side. Only played 4 days ago. A win against Tulsa. It was a rest against Rusting tonight, and it really played out that way. San Antonio super slow to start. You could tell that they were maybe shaking the rust, but as this game has gone on, they've gotten stronger. The team that's on 3 days rest looks like a team that's on 3 days rest. Shot for handball. Is it given? He thought about it. Oh, he brought the whistle to his mouth, Kalian Radosov, and then he waved it off. Maybe a word with his assistant referee. Masareka launches, loose in front for Mahoney, and it's over the bar. And a yellow shown for a shove at the end of that. Nicky Hernandez, you saw yellow for some extracurriculars. It's been the theme of the night.
Oh, Matt Mahoney, I mean, give the defender a ton of credit to even get into this position, continuing to commit numbers higher. I mean, wide open, but the deflection off the goalkeeper, way to make himself big.
From the corner. Masareka, well done to keep it alive. Masareka floats it. 2 minutes of stoppage remaining.
Let's go back to the no call. Really tough to tell. Thought it hit him in the moment. Your mind tells you it does. Definitive on the angle, it is not.
Kalian Radosov, he put the whistle to his mouth. He took a few steps toward the penalty spot, but then he waved it off. You could tell the wheels were turning. Perhaps chatting in the earpiece with the assistant referee, who would have had a better vantage point of it in that situation. Perhaps it was the assistant referee who told him no. Much to the chagrin of Colorado Springs, and we're still alive here. Bennett redirects it. Speedy Williams, rather. One more minute for San Antonio to navigate. Fieldberg. Ward defending. Commits the foul. This could be it. Get the numbers forward. They've scored a last-second tying goal to make it 2-2 already this season, Colorado Springs. It came here at home against Orange County. And they manage it again. Fieldberg puts one ahead. Tanner got a piece of it. Still alive for Burner out wide. Patrick Burner feeds it in. The header over the bar. Last good look for Colorado Springs. 7 minutes come and gone. Final whistle goes right there. San Antonio holds on to win it 2-1.
A brilliant effort after what was an incredible start by Colorado Springs. Tactical adjustments, confidence moving forward, harnessing the emotion to their benefit. Create the equalizer, the go-ahead, and what has been just sustained belief within this group. Continuing to find a way to get results like a SpaceX IPO. Their journey to the top continues.
The conversations with the officials continuing from a number of Colorado Springs players. Tonight's Springs Tires MVP is Jorge Hernandez. 2 assists, bringing him to 5 goals and 5 assists this season. The game-winning assist came off the corner. Met the meaty forehand of Alex Cronali, who scored his 4th goal of the season. and that held up the rest of the way for a 2-1 San Antonio win. We'll come back in a moment to wrap things up after a very testy evening at Widener Field. Two teams that straight up do not like each other. It's San Antonio who will have the last laugh tonight. 2-1 over Colorado Springs. This game was everything we wanted it to be. These fans were treated, they weren't treated to a victory for the home side, but they were treated to some entertainment, some extracurriculars, exactly what you expect when these two Western Conference rivals meet. As we walk you back through the highlights of this one, San Antonio fell behind early, but they rallied to win it, 2-1.
Colorado Springs were perfect in the opening quarter hour, and they were rewarded for their efforts 14 minutes in. The idea that they could build going forward isn't the question. It's once they get there, do they have the right players in the right position? Great job by Yosuke Hanya, crashing the party in the box. Taken down by Akeem Ward, and for the 6th time this season, albeit on the 2nd effort, this go around, 8 yards out. Corey Bennett on the follow-up creates another goal for Colorado Springs from the spot. They grab the early lead, but San Antonio FC would respond. The goal itself comes from the 29th minute. The better run the play started about 5 minutes prior. Why? Their midfield became more aggressive. They too got numbers up high. They created depth, and then beautiful vision from what has been the best chance creator in all of championship play this season. Jorge Hernandez finds the 19-year-old on the doorstep, and Dmitry Eurofeev finds the game-tying goal, Now, 2nd half, turn the page, come right back around. Both teams excellent from dead ball situations all night long. Alex Crognale, his 4th on the season. Emotions flew, tempers flared, cards were pulled, but most importantly, the visitors grabbed a vital and game-winning go-ahead goal.
And there was a chance late to go ahead and tie things up for Colorado Springs. There was a shout for a handball in the mix. Then this deflection found Mahoney. Terrific save off his line by Joey Petruni. It just deflects up over the bar, and it keeps all 3 points for San Antonio. To take a look once again at the Brinks Tires performance standings. Devin, San Antonio, we talked about it all night. It's felt up, it's felt down. There's been ties, there's been long layoffs in the schedule, and yet through it all, what's felt like a mini rut, they're 2 points off first place.
Nobody has taken hold in the Western Conference. Now, there is a bit of separation in those top three compared to the bottom of the table, but San Antonio has continued to retain relevance. They need to get healthy, they need to get a 9, and back to their defensive ways. They got some of that tonight. For Colorado Springs, opportunity lost given how well they started, but certainly opportunity not gone. They are just 1 point from getting into a playoff spot and just 3 from hosting one come postseason time.
Next time we're on ESPN2, it's a week from tomorrow. It's AC Boise against 1 Knoxville. 2 USL League One teams going at it on ESPN2 again a week from tomorrow. This one was entertaining. 2 rivals giving us exactly what we expected, and it's San Antonio coming out on top 2-1 on the road. Our broadcast partner Devin Kerr and the crew that makes this possible. I'm Joe Malpa saying so long for now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody.